This video is sponsored by Thrive Market. At some point, I paused my sourdough routine to focus on a few other types of bread, challah being one of them. I've been making 1 or 2 loaves almost every Friday for the past 6 months or so. There's something really satisfying about working on the same thing week after week, noticing small improvements over time, and finding ways to refine my technique. It's also been a way for me to reconnect with some of the staples that we take for granted nowadays at the grocery store, and just to remember how much time and care we used to put into foods like this before everything became so readily available. Challah is one of those breads that's made from just a few basic ingredients: water, salt, sugar, oil, and flour. And yet, somehow, in its simplicity, it's perfect. It bakes up so soft and fluffy every time. I think everyone can benefit from having an uncomplicated meal to fall back on. You know, something that you can throw together without having to think too much. And for me, that is definitely miso soup and rice. Something warm and comforting that I find myself returning to whenever I need a reset. Instead of a traditional dashi, I usually just use a little splash of yondu, which is a concentrated umami seasoning that I keep in my pantry. And then just a few ingredients that I always have on hand: dried wakame seaweed, soft tofu, and lots of scallions. And I always serve this with rice, of course. We recently upgraded to our dream rice cooker from Zojirushi, and we love it. I have never eaten so much rice in my life. And mind you, I'm half Filipino. I grew up eating a lot of rice, but we've been using this thing every chance we can get. This meal really is so simple. It takes no more than 10 minutes usually to throw it together, but it's a good reminder that not every meal needs to be a whole production. And especially on those days when I'm feeling a little under the weather or overwhelmed, there's a kind of care in making meals that just don't ask too much of you. Since today's video is all about the meals that carried me through last year, it only makes sense to mention today's sponsor, Thrive Market. Thrive Market is an online membership-based grocery store, and I've been counting on them for years to have my everyday essentials delivered straight to my door. What I really love is that it takes a lot of the pressure off of eating well. You know, I'm never trying to aim for perfection, but Thrive Market makes it easier just to make healthier swaps here and there, like finding plant-based pantry staples, healthier snacks, and ingredients that taste good but fit our lifestyle. I use it all the time to stock up on things like beans, oats, spices, sauces. They also have an amazing selection of plant-based snacks with really good ingredients, and everything's already vetted, so I don't have to stand in a store reading labels or go to multiple places to get what I need. I also love how easy it is to browse and sort by dietary needs and values, so finding plant-based and organic options is simple and stress-free, and since I've been using Thrive Market regularly, meal planning just feels less overwhelming and takes way less time every week. The membership is $60 a year. For me, that pays for itself in savings in just a few orders, and they also donate a membership to a family in need for every paid membership, which is awesome. So if you'd like to try out Thrive Market for yourself, you can visit thrivemarket.com/Sarah's Vegan Kitchen, get 30% off your first order plus a free gift worth up to $60, and I'll have all of that information in the description box. And with that, let's get back to our recipes. This next meal is one of my most cooked all year, and it's my plant-based version of Hungarian chicken paprikash. This year I had a goal to start exploring foods connected to my fiance's Eastern European roots, and from the very first time I made this paprikash, it became one of his favorite meals and one that he requests all the time. Making dishes like this paprikash and the challah has been a really satisfying way to reconnect with Eric's heritage, and I'm really excited moving forward to keep trying different cultural dishes, and especially to start learning more about Filipino food, which honestly has felt a little bit intimidating up to this point, but I'm gonna give it my best try in 2026. As for the paprikash, the recipe itself is actually very simple. The key is to cook the onions and red peppers down till they're nice and jammy, and to use good Hungarian sweet paprika. Whenever a recipe has very few ingredients, I think focusing on the quality of the ingredients is the way to make it taste like more than the sum of its parts. I've made it both with pan-fried tofu and with a plant-based chicken substitute, and it's delicious both ways. I also really want to try it with butter beans or some kind of creamy white bean, because I think that would just be incredible. I usually will make paprikash on a Friday, which is when I also make my challah for the week. So we'll usually serve it with a slice or two of bread, and then I'll also make some orzo or couscous. The important thing is just having something to like mop up that really delicious red pepper sauce. It's also really tasty with rice. Another thing I craved constantly this past year is peanut sauce. And this is like a lifetime favorite, but I especially counted on it this past year. It kind of became my default meal whenever I didn't know what else to make for dinner. And I would mostly use it to make peanut noodles, but also great in all sorts of stir fries or as a dipping sauce, even a salad dressing. And it's so easy to make because aside from a few aromatics that I always have around, like garlic, ginger, and scallions, everything else in the sauce is pantry friendly. So what you're seeing here is kind of like my ultimate fridge clean out meal. I would honestly just take whatever kinds of vegetables I had lying around from the week, pan fry up some tofu because I always have tofu in my fridge, and then any kinds of noodles I had in my pantry at the time, whether it's udon, ramen, even just regular pasta. Cook those up with my veggies, toss everything together in one pot, and you're good to go. I'll also say I've made it with tahini and with almond butter instead of peanut butter. All delicious. It's just a flexible template for a meal that is kind of like a cheat code, honestly. Because not only is it delicious and easy to make, it's also so cheap. And honestly, I think we could all use more meals like that. The last recipe that really stuck out to me in my memory when I thought about last year is this tofu salad. It's inspired by crab salad. It's got that kind of California roll vibe. And California rolls used to be one of my favorite types of sushi before I went vegan. So this is something I crave all the time. And this is also a recipe that Eric makes pretty often, which is usually a sign that something's really earned a place in our rotation. Because he's more of the type of cook who improvises, so for him to actually consult a recipe means he really likes it. During the summer, we make this tofu salad all the time. We'll make a big batch and then we'll just throw it in sushi bowls. It's a really great kind of fresh, low-cook meal because you just have to make the sushi rice. On days when I had a little bit more energy and wanted to make something more special, I would actually roll it into proper sushi. And since it's winter time right now, I actually wanted to try the sushi bake. And I know this went viral like ages ago, and I'm only finally getting around to trying it, but it was really cold on the day that I filmed this, so I figured it would be a good time to test it out. Just baked it at 400 till it was a little golden brown around the edges. Topped it with a little more sriracha mayo. I think eel sauce would be really good on this too. Also, side note, every time I mention eel sauce, people tell me it's not vegan because they think there's actual eels in it. It's really just like a sweetened soy sauce, like a glaze. So if you didn't know that, now you know. Okay, our verdict on the sushi bake. It was good, but I think we're gonna stick with our usual sushi bowl format. I think the tofu salad's just a little bit better when it's served cold. But if you are craving these flavors and you don't want to eat something cold, I'd say this is worth trying at least once. it was a fun experiment. All right, now before I wrap this up, our first upload of the year, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone who cooked along with me this past year, anyone who ever made a recipe from the blog, or left a review, or sent me a photo of something you made on social media. It really means so much to me, more than you could know. And I'm so grateful to be able to keep doing this and to have such a great community here. And I'm really looking forward to what 2026 holds. Thanks for watching, and cheers to another year of good food.